We're the Fantasy Football Advice Network. We want to show you our platform and then take some Q&A here. I'm going to introduce our team. I'm Corey Dozier, one of the co-founders. Tyler Bradley's actually back there. You've been hearing his name said a lot. He's another co-founder. Then we've got our fantasy forecast team up here. We got Biggs and Mike. And then we've got Dan, Amber, and Dan,
yeah, way to mess that
and
up.
Brian. I went the opposite way and then I threw myself off. So anyways, you'll hear from them in just a little bit. Alrighty, guys. So I'll get started into this. So who's having a good time here this weekend? Anybody having a good time? Oh yeah, I'm having a good time too. The question is, why am I having a good time? Well, I'm getting to hang out with like-minded people that enjoy fantasy football, and that's what I'm getting to spend my time on, and I just love that. It's not that I'm not having to, be around my wife and kid all weekend or anything, because I do love them dearly. No, actually, most importantly, it's that I'm not having to put up with your family vacation photos or what you had for dinner. Okay, I don't care about your CrossFit workout or how lovely your spouse is for whatever the hell reason. Spare me, okay? I don't want to put up with any of that. Who here is on social media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram? Should be just about everybody, right? But then who, when they get on one of those platforms, gets a little pissed off or annoyed when they get on there? Yeah, is anything on there that just annoys the hell out of you, like politics? My goodness, it's pretty toxic nowadays, right? So what we wanted to be able to do is create a space to get away from all of that and focus on what really matters in life. Fantasy football, right? We got our priorities straight, that's for sure. Okay, so a little background of our company really quick before we get into the actual platform. We have two companies that kind of combined, okay? I came last year, Tyler came last year with his company, and we had the same idea with the same goals. And we decided, for the sake of the community, let's get together, put this together, and do this right. So it's just kind of a testament of what can happen here at the Expo if you're making connections and doing this right. So get out there, talk to people, make connections. It's what it's all about. So just kind of a shout out to the Expo there before we get into the actual platform. So I talked about our goals, right? Our goals that we had in mind were to build a community that people can come together and talk about fantasy sports. And then we also wanted to help content creators have a way to monetize their content and get rewarded for all the work that they're putting into it. Just out of curiosity, who here is a content creator in the crowd? Okay, who here is just like a regular fan of fantasy football and you're just loving these content creators? Okay, so we've got about a 50-50 mix, which is really nice. So I'm going to show you a little bit of the platform now, and we'll start with just kind of if you're the everyday player. I'm going to pull it up on screen here. Let me see which one of these browsers I've got that up on. Alrighty, yeah. Nope, that wasn't it. This one is it. Alright, guys. I was obviously prepared for this demo. Alright. So when you first sign up on the site, this is your main page. This is your fantasy feed. When you first sign up, you haven't put anything on your feed yet. But this is where you get to see everything that you're following on the site. Our site actually has football, basketball, and baseball on it. But if you're not playing anything but football, you don't want to see all the basketball and baseball stuff on this main feed. You don't care about any of that, so you don't want that. But you can also follow different brands, you can follow content creators and things of that sort, and that will also feed into your fantasy feed here on the homepage that you have customized. To get started, there's nothing there on your fantasy feed because you haven't joined anything or followed anything yet. The first thing you're going to do is go to a sport, and you'll join that sport. And then that'll open up that sport for you so that then you can see all of the content, and now you're part of that community. Then if you go back to your fantasy feed, it is also feeding onto that feed now. And if you go do the same thing with basketball or baseball or whatever, that will also go into here, and it'll be labeled. You'll see here that these are all labeled as football. Basketball and baseball would also do the same thing. Once you're in here, there's all kinds of different things you can do. It works a lot like Facebook. You can just come here and you can post something. You can create a post or you can create a poll so that then you can ask questions to get really quick answers, okay? So who here has that person that when you're making a trade or something, you're kind of texting and seeing what their sentiment is about the same trade or anything? I know I have people that I'll text and be like, hey, am I crazy for this? You know, I'm looking for some confirmation bias. I think we all like a little confirmation bias, right? So imagine that, but with hundreds or thousands of people giving you that feedback. So you're getting it from content creators, you're getting it from other players, and just seeing what other people think, right? And getting that feedback. So you can do that here. I do want to encourage everyone, if you haven't yet, download our app really quick in the App Store that just shut off because we were definitely prepared to have you do that. I should have had you do that at the beginning. Download our app, get signed up. There's only 4 steps. Download, register, confirm your email, and then join football like I just showed you. And at the end of this, we'll do a Q&A, and we'll actually use the app to do the Q&A, okay? And so you get a little audience participation, and then you can actually put feedback to those questions also along with our expert panel. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. So let me see. Once you're signed up, you can ask questions, you can answer other people's questions. It's just a community to come into one place. You can go create social groups. Now these social groups can be I don't know, if you're a fan of the Dallas Cowboys and want to talk trash on the shitty Eagles for a little bit, you can do that, okay? So you can do that, or you can have your whole fantasy league. Yeah, shout out to my Cowboys fan over here. And no shout outs to the Eagles fans, sorry about you guys. It's just rough goings. But you can also create, you know, if you want to have your league sign up, you can have a space for your commissioner to drop notes there. You can put, you can have polls to vote on different rules and things. You can have a chat box on there to where y'all can just chat on game day. You can also pay your league dues on there. And you can have the league commissioner just hang on to those and then do payouts at the end of the season and everything. So we've got all of that. And I'll touch a little bit on how that works in just a little bit. Along with that, we have the content, articles, videos, and podcasts. So you can go on there. We have content creators on there that post their articles. You can come on here and see videos and podcasts. Here's a podcast we have on there right now. And you can actually bookmark these and create your own bookmarks. So if you just want a quick link to your favorite articles or something, like I don't have time to read this right now, you can bookmark it and come back to it later. Up in the upper right corner, you have your little bookmarks tab. I haven't done anything on this demo account yet. Sorry about that. Alrighty, let's see if there's anything. Oh, another fun thing is that everyone that signs up gets an affiliate link. And that's right here. You can invite your friends, and if they then join the site and sign up for a pro membership, you get paid. You'll get paid $1 for every sign up. And then every time they renew, you get $1 again. They renew, you get $1 again. So you can be making money off your friends. That's pretty fun. So even if you have a free account, you get an affiliate code. Everyone gets an affiliate code. Invite your friends because we want it to be a community. We want people to join because the more people are on there, the funner it is, and the more feedback you get, and the more advice you get. Let's see. Okay, let's go ahead and jump over to the content creator side really quick. Let me see. So once you join as a content creator, sorry, I've got this in dark mode. You can switch between light mode and dark mode. So this one's in dark mode that I've got in this browser. So once you sign up as a content creator, you get this cool little plus sign up in the upper right. And that allows you to add articles, add videos, and add podcasts, or create a brand page. Now, if you're interested in being a content creator on our website, you actually have to go through an application process. As you're a pro member, the apply to be a content creator will pop up, and you'll be able to click there, fill out the form, and then we'll be able to get you on the platform. You're not guaranteed to get on there, but we'll work through that. Anyways, once you're on here, you can create a brand page. And so, let me get over to what that might look like for a second. Alright. So here's some brand pages over here. We've created one for the Fantasy Football Advice Network. And then a brand page, you can add all of your team members. If you have multiple members on your team, you can add all of them. You've got all your links to your other social medias. You can create a shop, so you can list items if you have, merchandise you want to list on there, draft guides, anything of that sort. You can list that on there for sale. One of our best aspects is what we call an overtime. An overtime is your paywall. This is meant to replace Patreon. So if you right now are a content creator and you're using Patreon to create a paywall for your content and then sending your users over to Discord and having them download that app and try to understand Discord then at the same time, that's a hot mess. Anybody doing that currently? Yeah, is that kind of messy? Do people like Discord? Most people I talk to, they're like, what's Discord? Summary, like, what's Patreon? Like, people don't know what these things are, right? So it gets a little bit messy, and we're trying to simplify that. So we have our overall community, and then you can build a micro community behind a paywall inside of that. And then, let's see, I'll click into one of these. So within, I just want you to see that really quick. We named ours OnlyFans, just because Fantasy Football Advice Network, FFAN. Sorry, my brother came up with that and I liked it. Anyways, so within this, you can set up exclusive access, right? You can create multiple levels of access just like you would on Patreon, and it can unlock whether they can directly message your team. You can just say like, hey, this is how you get first priority on the platform for our team. We'll come answer questions here for our group before we ever visit the rest of the platform, start answering questions on the main timeline. So you have ways we have like goodies. You can put goodies on there if you're just wanting to drop a draft guide for subscribers, things like that. Exclusive articles, videos, and podcasts that you can't get on the rest of the site. So that's how that works, okay? Let me see what else there is before. Okay, actually, that kind of does it. I'm trying to wrap up the demo as quickly as possible so we can get into having some fun. Has everyone taken an opportunity to download the app? And so that you can ask questions through this. I can bring that back up on screen really quick for you so that you can see that. Scan the appropriate one. If you have an Apple or Android phone, then you can participate in the Q&A. Tyler, you want to come up and kind of help with the Q&A for a sec? Yeah, I'm going to put you to work.
Get up here. Hey, thank everybody for being here. Sorry, my voice is already kind of going. But our goal here, same reason we all come to the Expo. Like, we love people, we love talking ball, we love hanging out. It's why we are in the same fantasy league we've been in for 19 years with all of our friends. And so we wanted a space where people could have that again. Right? Without you go on Instagram. I have to scroll through 20 other posts before I actually see something that I'm actually following. Right? Or you get on Facebook. It's so much ads just constantly. We keep it pure. We don't put ads in our feed. We want to see users interacting, talking ball, supporting each other. And that was the vision. That's what we wanted to accomplish. And Corey, the team, it's been absolutely incredible, and you'll see as you get on it, you'll enjoy it. And on the content creator side, we come to the Expo, and every year we see faces that were here the year before that are no longer here, or people that aren't in the industry, and that's because it's so hard to actually make money in this realm, right? You have to do all these different things. You have to organize in all these different apps just to have a hope of getting something, right? So we did. We took Patreon, we took Discord, we took Facebook, we put it all in one place, and we said, hey, you know what? We even have the 20% rev share model. We're going to help you make money. We're going to help you succeed. We're also working on our content creator tools kit to help people build their brands, get their stuff out there, create, expand their space. And the cool thing is, it's all built so you can't put your stuff in the main feed, but but you can go in and interact in the main feed. So people find you by you talking to them, talking shop, and they build relationships. And you know what, that as a brand ambassador, that creates more buy-in into your product, because they're like, oh, this is like, they're cool, like they're like giving me advice, like these guys, you know, always on there offering advice, helping, and so it's a win-win for everybody, and we create genuine community, genuine platform where everybody's having a good time and winning. So make sure you download the app. It'll be a good time. So we're gonna actually get down to what we do on the app. So at any time you have questions, draft questions, trade questions, you know, you can get on there, you can post your stuff. And you have content creators, they have an icon that kind of separates them in the space. So you know, like, who are the professionals or who's like, but then you also have users that are commenting on your stuff and interacting with you, giving you advice or their thoughts. And for me, a lot of times that comes in actually dissecting what they're saying. And you'll notice a lot of people on there will they'll write paragraphs, like they're giving you context, they're giving you real advice. And so we're gonna actually, if you have the app, go in, post a question, and then we're gonna pull it up on screen, and these guys will both answer it on the app, and they'll do it right here in live. All right, so we'll start with things. So this guy just posted in here, you can see it on the screen. He said, how do you guys handle player bye weeks? Do you try to plan your draft around them, or do you take what you want and deal with the fallout later? Having a lot of guys out 1 week may not be a bad thing if your best players are getting it over and done with. So basically the idea is, do you just draft a bunch of people on the same team with the same bye week, so you just take an L and roll? Is that the best way? Or are you trying to actually build your roster where you can, you know, have people in there that will commit? So, Biggs, you want to start us off on that?
Is this thing on? Yeah, so I don't really pay attention to bye weeks depending on the format. If it's a best ball league, obviously I need to make sure that there are going to be bye weeks covered. But in a dynasty league and any league that has a waiver wire or anything like that, I don't care about bye weeks. I'll deal with that when it comes to it. So I just draft the best players that are there. And in week 14, maybe I have 3 quarterbacks that all have a bye week in week 14. I'll have to do something later, but that's 3 months away. So I don't care about bye weeks anymore.
Yeah, I will. As long as you're in a league that's not having your playoff matchups when there's still bye weeks going on, like in week 13 and 14, no, there's really no reason to have to worry about it. Like you said, best ball, maybe Brian is our best ball guru over here. We'd like to take that one. But basically, what you want to do is just center it around getting the best value in your drafts, and then however that shakes out. Because even if you have a rough bye week, all right, that's 1 week, right? That's it. And then you don't have to worry about the playoff weeks and everything like that. So it's really not that big of a deal. And then that's something we would answer on there as well, with other people chiming in, and then the conversation evolves from there as well on that same thread. It's a big thing for me.
So anybody else want to chime in on that? No? We're gonna roll down to the next question, which, by the way, I don't know if you noticed, we do have our own custom reactions, and they're all like sport oriented. Like, we've got the big fan, we've got the cheers, you know. So we've honed it in on like actual, like, everything is ingrained in that football identity, right? So next question. A lot of excellent play from young quarterbacks in the first week of the preseason. Anyone look like they're standing out from the pack? And then he said my pick would be J.J. McCarthy. So
not the first drive.
Any rookie quarterbacks you guys are excited about based on preseason play so far?
That as a diehard Bears fan, I think the few drives that I got, I'm very content with. But I really did like what I saw from JJ. I was a little surprised. I think that there's a lot of potential there for him, and hopefully we see a lot more McCarthy versus Darnold. And I think Caleb showed out a little bit, so I'm ready for that. But yep.
Sam Darnold isn't a rookie, but he did not look good. We also did an impromptu draft on Friday night at about 2 a.m. And I drafted Jaden Daniels at the 104 in a 3-quarterback league. So Jaden Daniels is absolutely a smash this year.
We got a really good question here from Dynasty Outhouse. It's, does your platform allow for private chats inside a larger channel? I have multiple leagues that I run and want them to all in the same place for one big chat, but I also want separate league chats. Absolutely, we call it a huddle. So you can create a huddle in your own mini groups. So just like Discord, you can download. So if you have any sort of chat you want to start, and that could be privy to anybody that you invite to that chat, and you can have super chats, and everybody can interact within that in that huddle. So you can minimize any sort of fluff.
And I just want to address Russ real quick. Thank you for your question, sir. If you want to merge all of the DTC leagues onto the FFAN platform, you can link the MFL stuff there, but we can do all the chat in there instead of having to do it on Twitter and then go over to trying to get Bob to trade for a quarterback because he's kind of light. I tried to talk to John about that, but he thinks you guys are fine. I don't agree. But we can do everything in the FFAN app without having to go to Twitter and then go to MFL and then go maybe try and watch a video on YouTube and then go to Discord and talk to some other people. We can do everything in that app and you know, and then donate to Fantasy Cares.
So, excuse me. So just like any other platform, we do have a DM message, like a direct message, completely separate, where you can, you know, message people or create a group chat, anything like that. And it goes push notifications, everything. So if you do get that, that's easy. But also, we're elevating our group's dynamic. So if you go to like a social group on the platform, I'm just gonna open one up, like the Expo. You'll see it has its own running content in the main feed. So you can be updating your stuff, and only people that are in that group, have joined that group, they're getting it in their fantasy feed. So they're seeing it, but then they can go over and interact. Now, one elevation of technology that we're doing is, you see this space over here? We are actually embedding a group chat, like direct DM inside your group page. So like basically like a live chat room where people can be talking all the time, and that's running over on the side, separate, like you would talk in your DMs versus like you would want to post this content. And so that's gonna be pretty cool. There's nothing really out there like that gives you that dynamic, plus the ability to newsletters and everything else in there. Or, you know, if you're trying to manage your people, the things that they need to know as they're a part of running 150 leagues or being a part of some kind of charity tournament, things like that.
And if I'm understanding this a little bit correctly, it's almost like, can I make groups inside of a group, right? So you have your main feed, and then can you have a bunch of groups inside of that? Almost like we've set up the sport, and then you create groups inside of that. So you have the main feed. Yes, it's possible, and we can work with you on that for sure, because that's a good way of setting up something barge like that, where you kind of have the overall organization, and then you need a bunch of groups inside of that to separate out certain leagues or something like that. So, yes.
All right, so we're going to get to the next question. It says, is anybody really concerned about the Christian McCaffrey injury? You know, Christian McCaffrey is going consensus 1-1 overall. Even in Superflex, we're seeing McCaffrey go in the top 3 consistently. So with the injury, are we worried? Is that going to drop him? Will he be fine?
I'm going to say, first of all, Hut Hut Ike. That's a fantastic username. Hut Hut Ike, everybody. Not worried about Christian McCaffrey's injury at all. He's good.
I'll say I'm not necessarily afraid of McCaffrey. I'll still take him at 101, but at the same time, I'm not willing to dig into that stance. I'm not willing to not take, CeeDee Lamb or Tyreek Hill just because that's what we're supposed to do. We don't want to react to this injury. So it's all taking this information. Take it with a grain of salt, see what it is, look at your other situations. But best ball, all season long, I've been taking a combination of CMC, Tyreek, and CeeDee Lamb at that 101, just because you want to mix it up a little bit. We've seen CMC go down and ruin an entire season for us at that one pick. So it's just mitigating the risk, I think, is what we're really looking at here.
All right, so we'll head off to the next question.
I was just going to get the...
Oh, you want to go?
No. I was just letting you know. So you posted up the comments, so just like we're doing up here, we got the comment up there. We responded to that question. And everyone, it's not just us though. It's like all our users are already commenting on it and everything like that. So I just put my answer up there on the screen for you guys to read.
Yeah, so you see, like, we're sitting here live, and people that aren't here are answering these questions as you're posting. They're interacting. The people that come to our platform are the ones that actually pay for things. The ones that are actually invested, the ones that actually contribute to your community spaces, that offer real value. I mean, everybody wants to just talk ball, and so you're seeing it live, and as you're experiencing it, what our platform's about.
I'll add to that too. So yesterday I was doing the live draft at IBT Media there, and we had one of our users in the live draft, and the relationship I created with him, talking through our platform, and I was introduced to him, and then he came to me in the middle of the draft, he asked me a question, and then I kept going over to him as the draft was going on, and I helped him build his team to where he was really happy with it, and then he DM'd me afterwards, and isn't this the idea, is creating this community where everybody can gather, whether you're a fan, a creator, an owner, that's the idea, is this community is what we're trying to build. We want to fill this building with avid fans, not just creators. Let's fill this building with people that love fantasy sports just like we do. And let's bring community, fans, creators, everybody together. And this is a great way of starting that. We start this now, and by this time next year, our community is built. Everybody, it's not one brand, it's everybody inclusive. We're not trying to be better than anybody else. We're trying to bring it all together and have the best platforms excelling at its best rate. And I'm believing in this, and it's an important thing.
So if you notice, speaking of that, if you notice over here on the sidebar, we have a gamified dynamic to our platform. So as you interact with people, as you answer questions, as you talk, you get points. And we have, points levels, rookie, recruit, Hall of Fame, we've got all these levels, and you can actually earn money. At the different levels, each level has a payout. So for a user, it's not a big deal, right? But at the same time, it's kind of like, oh, that's cool. You see your name on the leaderboard because you're out there, you're talking shop, and you're hanging out. We want it to be fun and have that kind of side to it as well, So we're gonna get into this next question from M. Huber. As a commissioner, how would you suggest handling end-of-season scheduling by NFL with Wednesday Christmas game and playoff bye weeks. Heard one league having a bye in week 14 with 6 teams out of the playoffs after. Also, thanks for the jersey from last year.
Yeah, we're pushing those jersey leagues again this year, by the way. So make sure you join them. That's also part of the platform. Join those jersey leagues in the league classifies. We got a bunch.
So that's another piece of the community aspect of what we do. This year and last year we hosted our jersey leagues. It is as long as you're a pro member, it's free to enter. Like, just come on, let's play. And each league is named after a player. Tyreek Hill, Christian Kirk, Chris Olave, all these jerseys, and you just play with 10 people.
You forgot
This guy's running a Kicker Premium Justin Tucker League, and pumped about that. But the winner of each league will get an autographed jersey of the player that their league is named after. And we don't do it like there's nothing in it for us. It actually costs us money, right? Like, I gotta buy the jerseys, but it again fosters community. Like, we all like playing fantasy football, and so we just wanted to offer that opportunity for people to come and play with us and have a good time. Oh, sorry. Back to the commissioner question. That kind of got over.
So, as a commissioner of the Jersey leagues and the other leagues that I run as well, the way that I've been handling it this year is trying to push the playoffs back to week 15, 16. I hate playoffs that go into week 18, but I'm just trying to deal with week 14 because normally I would start playoffs around week 14, but there's so many players on bye that week. It's unfair to the owner. So if I had a 2-week championship, I'm cutting that down to 1 week. I'm just trying to negate the week 14 buys because they're really harmful this year. I have an email that I sent to Roger Goodell. Haven't heard back from him yet, but I'll let you guys know as soon as he gets back to me.
He did respond to me. He says the season's going to 18 games, so that's the response. But no, he hit exactly nail on the head. If you are commissioner of a league, there's a couple things you want to do, which is you want to make sure those playoffs are starting week 15. You can still have a bye week for the teams who win first place for 2 divisions in week 15, and have them go 16 and 17. As a commissioner of many leagues, by all means, please. Just like it would be unfair to start the playoffs in week 14 because so many teams are on bye, it's unfair to have your championship in week 18 because we have no idea who's playing, who's in and who's out. So try to cut that at week 17. It makes it a lot more fun.
All right, we're gonna next question. What would you be willing to add to a Drake London or Chris Olave in order to get Jamar Chase in a PPR Superflex league? So you trade away Olave or London. What are you willing to add to that to convince the owner to trade you Chase?
Where's the question?
Scroll down.
I think that's Tyler's personal question, and
It is not my personal question, but
I'm
let's answer
willing
the
to.
question.
It depends on what their counter is. If somebody's willing to give up Jamar for Olave or Drake London,
So
a draft pick.
One of the answers was they said on death, but I would say one of those guys in the JSN tier. So are you willing to do like a JSN and Olave for Chase?
Yeah. I like the,
I'm not.
I'm not giving up Chase for that, not at all. But I would be looking to acquire that. I mean, I think that London or Olave plus a draft pick, I think, is a fair value.
Anybody out there who is in my league that has Jamar Chase, and you want to, or that I have Jamar Chase, and you want to give me Drake London and Deontay Johnson, let me know. I will take you up.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Like, I don't think there's enough of a tier gap between Jamar Chase and the up-and-coming schemes and quarterback play of Olave and Drake London. We're pairing that with a draft pick, pairing that with even a player in in a Jansen tier, I will take that. I'll take that move. Because the other thing we got to think about too, and not that Jamar Chase won't always be elite, he'll always be fine, but with this whole contract situation and the Bengals being the Bengals about it, like I don't even know how this year's going to go, or how quick the start he's going to get to. I don't even know when he's reporting training camp.
Right, and if you have Olave and London on your roster, you don't need to go try and get Jamar Chase.
All right, so drafting right now, which rookie wide receiver has the most year one upside? I'm going to give you a list of 4. You have to go from these 4 because we do have. So, which has the biggest upside? Ladd McConkey, Keon Coleman, Brian Thomas Jr., or Xavier Legette?
Ladd McConkey.
Please allow me to cook. All right, let me see the hashtags. Dads for Ladd. All right. Ladd McConkey is probably analytically the most underrated receiver in the entire class. You start looking at sticky stats like first downs per route run, yards after catch, and things like that. Then he finds himself in an offense that can support 140 targets because Greg Roman's offense has done that before. Ladd McConkey is one of the biggest sleepers, and I am targeting him in every single draft. And the only time I don't get him is when this dude takes him before I get a chance to. Hashtag Dads for Ladd. Smash him. He is amazing.
Yeah, so of that group, it's definitely Ladd McConkey. But at ADP, so I think I can get both of them, McConkey, and I do want Keon Coleman. Keon Coleman has already been establishing himself in the red zone. You have Gabe Davis gone, Stephon Diggs gone, Dalton Kincaid cannot eat all those targets by himself. And Curtis Samuel, Shakir, look, Curtis Samuel, sure, he had his best year with Joe Brady a million years ago, and it was wide receiver 29, and that was his big claim to fame. I'm all about Keon Coleman as far as that.
So let me ask you something, because I am not on the Keon Coleman hype. How do you think? So Keon Coleman played ball at Florida State. It's a lot different. So when he's in Buffalo and they get those 10 inches of snow and he's playing in below 0 temperatures, how do you think he's going to do?
What does any other Florida player ever do? Like, what do you like? There's plenty of Florida players in the NFL who've played in cold weather and handled it very well. When you're a big-bodied receiver like that, it actually benefits you more to play in that colder weather because that faster player is not as fast on a cold, wet turf. It plays to its benefit more because now it's more about physicality.
So questions like these, if you played Dynasty, we have Dynasty shows. If you played Best Ball, we have Best Ball. Too much Brian, too much Best Ball. If you play Redraft, we got the Fantasy Forecast. All of these things coming through FFAN. And in the interest of putting my money where my mouth is, I'm in a league, I mentioned it before, Bob Gilchrist is in that league, and I took Ladd McConkey before Romo Dunze in our rookie draft, so I'm in.
So, next question, in 5 years, where would you like the platform to be? In 5 years, I know that's more of like not a fantasy question, but it's fair. In 5 years, I would like to see a central space where people support each other that is, I wouldn't say just as big as Facebook because, you know, we're just talking fantasy sports, but where users are excited to pick up their phone and just, I want to talk ball. Like, you know, open it up and interact. And the growth numbers so far, I think it'll be that. And big brands, we want to support other brands. We want to support other creators. We want to support charities. We want to help, you know, continue to press that forward. And just like we come to the Expo, right? Like we want to continue to bring that to the table over and over and over again. And I think organically, that's what people want. People want that space. I can't tell you how many people are like, I'm tired of Elon and X or Twitter, or make up your mind what you're gonna call it now, you know, or like we're over it, right? And for me, like I don't use social media except for to talk ball. Like I don't update pictures in my profile. I don't post pictures of my kids. Like I literally get on to just talk ball. And so now you have a space to do that.
This guy is my boss, and I have 3 different ways to talk to him. And sometimes he'll message me in my DMs on Twitter, and sometimes I'll see a text message from him. 5 years is a long time. And if there is any ultimate goal, it's that in 5 years from today, none of you have to go to YouTube to see your videos, the content that you want to get help for your leagues from. You don't have to go to Twitter and Discord and Patreon and everything else. You just go to the FFAN app and you can access every single thing that you do in the fantasy space, and you don't have to go searching for everything everywhere else. One spot, you don't have to do anything else.
Even your leagues eventually will hopefully be all linked there. So your sleeper apps can all be all in one spot. So you're just going on our app and it's all inclusive.
Oh, there we go. 5 years is a long time. That's a good point, Blakes. But I think for me, in 5 years, I want there to be enough activity on the app to where if you're literally in the middle of a live draft, you can hop on there, ask a question, and there's enough people that are active on there that you can get answers quick enough and advice quick enough to be able to, in real time, get help in your draft. For me, it would be the ultimate advice community. All right, I'll take the next question here. Spectre, it says, I've always wished for a League Finder service specific to in-person drafts. All the League Finder services get mucked up with the countless online-only leagues. Welcome to 2024, am I right? Do you see your app as having potential to have such a service as part of the community? Do you think there would be interest in it? So I haven't actually thought about this, but I think that's actually a really good idea. So we have, it's not currently active. We do have location services in our app where you can enter the location of things. I don't have that active in League Classifieds at the moment, but it sounds like that's a great idea, where you can post whether it's online or in person, and then you can post where it's going to be at if it's in person, and then if you're in there looking through the League Classifieds, you can search by location. If you want something near you, you should be able to search and find that. So it's totally possible, and gosh darn it, I might have that active next week because that's pretty cool.
And so I will say this, we do already kind of have that dynamic in. We built a League Classifieds system. So if you have an orphan team, or if you have a league that you want to fill with a bunch of people you haven't played before, you can post it in the League Classifieds. You can sort by the style of the league that you're interested in, by the sport, and you can find leagues to jump in and join. Or you can find people for your leagues to be able to play with. So we do have that already there. You would just probably need to say in your description, hey, this is an in-person, the draft is in Detroit, Michigan, and if you're interested, come join it, and people can apply to be in that league. All right, next question. What is your favorite non-standard scoring center? For example, my last couple leagues startups, I've had a bonus for first down receptions. So instead of typical PPR, it's 0.5 plus 0.5 points for the first down reception. So those key receptions are rewarded a little more. So favorite scoring setting, we can just go down the table on this. Favorite non-standard scoring setting?
Scott Fishbowl scoring.
It's pretty good though. It's pretty good.
It is good. I like any sort of tight end premium leagues, like at like super tight and premium, like 2 points per reception. I find it really interesting to add that extra element to the tier.
Well, my wife would yell at me if I at least didn't advocate for kickers a little bit here. Like, I can't get them out of my home league, so we try to spice it up a little bit. Whether that means super pump up the tight end or not tight end, the kicker a little bit. Just we have all these different positions in fantasy football. And do we want to get rid of it? Yeah, probably most of us do. So sorry, but at the same time, it adds that extra complexity to it. So it's not just putting your kicker in and not paying attention to it. You're actually looking to see what comes of that and playing a little bit harder in those positions.
All sleeping on Cairo Santos.
I think for me, I love a nice jacked up on Mountain Dew IDP league. Like, if you can get some really sick, ridiculous scoring in there and like a ridiculous amount of DBs, linebackers, and have a defense just to be annoying, I think that's really important to me. So, and I also have a CJ Mosley league on here if anybody wants to jump in. You'll get a signed jersey, but the scoring is insane. So come join me.
My IDP league is Josh Hines Allen, but I want that Mosley jersey.
Brandon Ayuk is the league you guys all want to join. Just want to point that out there real quick. Yeah, I'm gonna look. For me, I'm gonna do something that's like not even in the industry. I've been a commissioner of the league for like 10 years. And we did all kinds of like little crazy stuff. So we have like a 2-point bonus if your guy gets a 40-yard touchdown, so he gets all those points plus an extra 2 points. We do 2 points for 100 yards rushing. We do 4 points if he gets 200 yards rushing. So we have a lot of little things like that we just like to do when you get in those creative leagues, home leagues, whatever.
All right, so I'll give my answer. I wouldn't say scoring, but I like to simulate real NFL. Like, I was the guy that played Madden and never played the games. Like, I just pretended I was a GM. I traded, I worked the roster, I built teams. And so I love to try to emulate that scoring as close to NFL as I can, including also, like, our league. We do our rookie draft right after the NFL draft. So you get no camp. You have to go off. The only thing that you get is landing spots. In the off season, we do a roster expansion, and so you get and then just like after preseason, we have a cut day, and you have to bring your roster down to size, which pushes fab spendage. Like if you're in leagues and like nobody spent their fab money, like and guys like everybody still got. It's an easy way to get people spending more money and interacting better and trading because they may have players they don't want to cut. So next question, and this will kind of wrap it up for us. We appreciate all y'all coming. Hope to see you on the app. Hope to see you enjoying the space. But who do you keep? It's a keeper league. Who do you keep? Amon Ra, and he costs you a 3rd round pick, or Kyron Williams, and he costs you a 16th round pick.
Kyron.
That's a tough one.
That's not tough at all. I'm keeping Amon Ra every time.
I'm keeping Amara Saber.
Give me Kyron. I'd still draft him on Raw, but I'm getting him way earlier, obviously, 3rd round pick. But give me Kyron.
Yeah, that's exactly it right there, Brian. You hit the nail on the head. I can draft Amon Ra in the 1st round if I want to at ADP. You ain't getting Kyron in the 16th round. So let's call it what it is.
You're only giving up a 3rd round pick for Amon Ra, who is a 1st round pick. That's an absolute steal.
You're getting a top 10 running back at the last pick of the draft.
We're not going to start quibbling about Blake Corum versus Kyron Williams and Rams offense, are
You
we?
can get Blake Corum too. Simple thing. It's the 16th round.
These are the kinds of conversations that
I
should
want to
get
be in that
on
league.
our platform.
Right, exactly. And Corey, I want to bring up real quick, if you have any questions about how anything works, just go ahead and the question mark, there's a bunch of tutorials and guides on how to work and how everything works on here. If there's anything that might be confusing, and again, you can just post the question if you have anything you need answers to. So all of that's laid out nicely for you, and yeah, it'll guide you through.
Yeah, thanks for coming. We look forward to seeing you on the app and answering more questions. Y'all enjoy the expo. Our booth's right there if you want to hang out.
Let's give them a big round of applause. Very cool stuff.